Hello, and welcome to Digital Ascendancy, Powerline Info podcast series. On Digital Ascendancy, we're all about championing transformative digital solutions. Today we have Mike Hilton, Canadian President of HPE, and Curtis Deary, VP of Sales and Strategy at Powerline. In today's discussion, we have HPE GreenLake as an as-a-service platform and how it fits into your cloud-first strategy. And without further ado, let's jump straight to the conversation.
All right. Welcome. I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm here with Mike Hilton, the Canadian president for HP Enterprise. Exciting times happening in the market and the industry, but more really happening around HP and their world of evolution and what's changing around the technology front. Mike, I'm excited to have you here today with me.
Thanks very much, Curtis. I mean, obviously, we have a tremendous partnership with Powerland. There's some amazing things that we're doing together, and so it's always exciting to get together and talk about what's happening now and what we can do together
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah. So let's get that started with these topics. There's probably a lot to cover, but I think we're going to try and hammer this out as quickly as we can so that the listeners can enjoy it. But let's talk what's happening around the announcements that you've had the last couple days with HP.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we continue to make this push towards delivering everything as a service. And I think up until this point, that everything as a service conversation has really been around more the traditional financial operating model of cloud, which is only paying for what you use, only using what you need, which has a bit of a sustainability bent to it, having real metering up and down, all of those things that are synonymous with cloud. What we've now really showed people. We gave people kind of a preview of what was possible back at Discover last year, but with the launch of the new Electra MP products and these new cloud services, HP GreenLake for File, HP GreenLake for Block, we've now shown people the GreenLake Cloud Platform. This is this cloud platform portal where you can manage your cloud assets, your HPE cloud assets, and you can intermix that with your AWS or Azure assets, but delivering that true cloud operating experience as equally as we deliver the great financial operating experience. We now have that management operating experience as well.
Yeah, and that's well said. I think sometimes that's what's missed with, GreenLake and seeing it as just a leasing model or as an just a pure operation model. I think there's so many more benefits that we've seen, leading the charge with you guys in the market with our customers, seeing the benefits that's coming out of the GreenLake platform and how they get to utilize and how it helps transform, not only their environments, but the flexibility and agility it gives them to expedite projects, being able to quickly take a, capital project that maybe need approval can move over to an operational model and quickly transform these projects to move quicker and faster into their environments. And we've seen it happen with a slew of our customers that have benefited quickly from it. Where that first there was some hesitation thinking this is just an operational leasing model, and it's not that. It's way more than that. And I think that's what we're so excited about is the continued momentum between the strategy that you guys are bringing forth with new announcements around architecture and building out a truly globalized platform at scale that is about augmenting your cloud operational model that you're getting. Maybe with some of those announcements that you're talking about, can you talk about maybe the acquisition strategies? Because there's a few big ones that popped up on the radar that I think not everyone maybe caught in the last couple of weeks. Because I think you bought what, three in the last, call it 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, I think what's important is to look at what we've done with the acquisition strategy, and I'll kind
Yeah,
of roll back a couple of years because it's been a busy 24,
it has
28
been.
months. The acquisition of Cray, which was sort of the last big acquisition that we did, gave us this very dominant high performance computing platform. But what we realized out of that is everything in the world is becoming software defined. Everybody's looking for a software solution that helps optimize the hardware experience that it runs on. And so, that's what drove acquisitions like Determined AI and Ampool. We then followed that up with acquisitions like Pachyderm and Tidal. We've then does and those were tool sets to help customers build really robust capability around managing vast amounts of data, around supporting the learning models for AI and machine learning, making sure that there was very efficient operations around how they did that. And then this most recent acquisition with OpsRamp was designed
Yeah,
to bring AI into that IT operation space. And you talked about it earlier, this idea of empowering organizations to effectively do more with less. Many people are
yeah,
struggling to find the resources to manage their IT environment. They're worried about having single points of failure within their employee ecosystem. And so being able to start to bring AI capabilities into the operation side of things that will have implications for cybersecurity, it'll have implications for staffing, implications for the speed at which you bring capability to bear within your IT organization. And we're continuing to try and make sure that we are the platform that gives our customers the easiest and fastest mechanism to get up and running for whatever workload it is they're trying to bring to the organization.
Yeah, and I would say from my personal lens, in the last couple of years, I'm finally seeing it starting to balance out where it was all in. Everyone wanted to drop the word cloud, digitization. We're pushing everything to the cloud. Now I'm seeing people bring that balance back and understanding that there is some risk, some governance, some costs, trying to manage this whole cloud journey, right? And finding that sweet spot balance is where HP GreenLake perfectly fits into augmenting this whole cloud digital journey.
Well, and I think
And
it's really important for us to make sure that people understand that HPE is bringing a real cloud to them. This is not, to your point earlier, not some fancy financial model. This is an
no,
operating cloud. It has a portal for managing the workloads. It has persona-based management, so I can have developers have access to things. I can have IT managers have access to things. It gives you that elasticity that you have in a hyperscale cloud or a public cloud. You have that metered consumption as you would have in a hyperscale cloud, but all within a premise of your choice. So whether it be at the edge, whether it be within your factory, whether it be in a private data center. But when I hear a customer say to me, "Oh, I'd love to talk to you about this, but we have a cloud first strategy," we try to work very hard to make sure they understand. Well, I have a cloud that will fit in
yeah,
your cloud first strategy, and
exactly.
that's a really important part of the GreenLake message.
Yeah, 100%, right? And then I think that's sometimes what's missed because I mean, obviously we're in the era of all this technology, and it's sometimes hard to sift through what's real, what's not, and who's doing what. And this is why we've always made sure that we, placed our bets heavily with HP because of the vision of where they're going with the technology, right? It's not just coming out with faster, quicker storage. It's coming out with true, fully blown integrated platforms with visibility, controls, elasticity to move in and out of the cloud, and then going full circle. There's a lot of customers right now with the priority around sustainability. And I think, there's a huge talk track there also around what HP is doing in that space. Can you, lead a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting for me. HPE has put a very significant stake in the sand by saying we are committing ourselves to a net zero strategy by 2040. That's a full 10 years ahead of where most of the industry has put their mark. If you think about the Canadian government, their net zero strategy is 2050, and that's considered aggressive. But what's more important about our strategy is that it is part of this new evolution of what you often will hear science-based targets, not just I'm going to be net zero by buying a bunch of offset credits. No, we are
Yeah.
committed to true reduction. So by 2030, you'll see a 70% reduction in our carbon emissions. By 2040, you will see a 90% reduction with only those things that are beyond our control being facilitated through things like offset credits and what have you. So this is a true reduction strategy.
Yeah, and maybe you can mention a little bit, like, with the acquisition around Cray and obviously the efficient technology and architecture that's based on hypercomputing like that with high performance. Can you maybe talk how that's coming now downstream into the portfolio with HP?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Cray for a second because that's a really exciting story for us. We announced about 3 or 4 months ago that we had built the very first exascale supercomputer. And this was a big, mark for us. It's the number one on the top 500 supercomputers in the world. It's the number one in terms of its throughput. And a lot of people said, well, okay, but that comes with a compromise. What people don't know is it's also number one on the Green 500. It is the most energy efficient supercomputer in the world. And this was a very conscious effort on HP's part to drive this. We've now taken all of the learnings and capability. It's kind of like car racing in a way. You have this Formula One initiative, and then you bring it down to the rest of the fleet. And
Yeah.
that's really what's happened. And one of the core areas of efficiency is how do we deliver liquid cooling for compute at a scale that is attainable for anybody with those benefits that could be achieved, because it is a much more energy efficient way of both managing the heat within supercomputing, but also collecting the heat from supercomputing to do other things with it. And so this is something that we've brought down across now the entire Cray line, including the Cray XD 2000 and the Cray XD 6500, which are our enterprise grade Cray high performance computing capabilities.
Yeah, that's what's exciting, right? To see, you don't have to be doing high performance computing to get, the architecture and technology, needed for that. You can get it downstream for regular business models that people want to, again, create their sustainability model and have that integrated and understanding what it's doing around IT. And it goes full circle with the GreenLake model, because you don't have to buy all this compute, all this storage, and think that you have to use it all. It's pay as you grow, pay as you use. And that is part of a sustainable growth model around IT. So the whole thing goes full circle, which is very exciting. So Mike, again, there's some big announcements coming with your annual event. It's expanded to even a larger event, being HP Discover at the end of June. Can you maybe talk about that to the audience?
Yeah, we're obviously very excited. This is, as we like to say, our big show. This is where we showcase all things that are happening at HPE, whether it be Aruba or HPE, our services business, etc. This year, as you pointed out, we've combined it with our Aspire event, which is our technical training event. And so it's really open to a very large portion of our customer base. We have a CIO type event, so executive engagement. We have, as I mentioned, educational side to Discover. There's technical sessions, there's workshops, there's opportunities to have individual meetings with people in the product groups. So it's really an opportunity for everybody within both our partners and our customers to engage with HPE at various different levels in order to get what you need to move forward with what you're trying to accomplish from an IT strategy perspective, a cloud strategy perspective, a services perspective. All of that is part of what Discover represents. And so Discover is that third week of June from the 19th to the 22nd, and in Las Vegas, a great venue for us to be able to host an event like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been going to it for 10 plus years, and I always look forward to it, because it's tough sometimes being in the Canadian market to get access to some of the people that you want, and so it's nice to all have them there at one area. Then we would like to bring our customers down and make sure that we set up those one-on-ones, deep dives for specific areas, and we also have employees and customers going down to get their certifications and training on the modules and areas that they want. So we always see it as a huge benefit and investment to do that. And to any listeners out there that are looking to join, please reach out to your Powerland rep or your HP rep, or go to powerland.ca. And we're always looking to invest into our customers, into the benefits of going into big events and conferences like this.
Very good. No, we welcome everybody.
I know it's always great to have the airtime with you, Mike, and we could probably talk for hours around IT and all the stuff that's happening. It's always a pleasure to have you on with us. But I want to thank you with having us today. We're excited, with Powerland and Xerox to go to market and start scaling this as a service model with you guys, and building in some of our best practices and services, and continue the success that we're jointly doing with you guys.
It's always a pleasure, Curtis. Powerland is a tremendous partner for us. We do great things together with our mutual customers, and it's great to be able to share some of that with people through these types of events.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get the latest and greatest videos from Powerland when they come out. Follow us on social media at Powerland_CA on Twitter, Powerland Canada on LinkedIn, to hear about the latest and greatest in IT solutions.